don't have to look anymore now that I've seen you. I don't have to dream anymore now that you came true. I'm already yours. I don't have to look anymore now that I've seen you. I don't have to dream anymore now that you came true. I'm already yours. I'm already yours. I don't have to look anymore now that I've seen you. I don't have to dream anymore now that you came true. I'm already yours.
You know. Um, and this one, and yeah, these two here are the ones I did just some hours ago at work. That's not a great Gino, so I'm just going to forget all about that one. This is an earlier one I did. There's Kevin, Felicia, Kiki, another Gino, a little bit better, really skinny Gino. There's Pat. I think that's all I got up here. I'll probably only have time to do the newest ones. Oh yeah, and this drawing from the Nailsin News, Bonnie Blue. Update, apparently she's been let go, so she's gonna get deported from Indonesia. I'll put color to that at some point. But anyway, so I watched Melton and Pat's show, and this get pictures up here. Mary Jane Murphy, who actually mistook comments about Ari Jane for herself. These things happen. And so we'll get to that. So we'll color her portrait. But here we have Derek Savage, his Cool Cat videos. Went on for quite a while. And boy, there's just so many fighting COVID and stuff. And there was an earlier arrest video of this woman who was living in a storage unit. And, well, the police had to show up and say, yeah, you can't stay here. And, you know, it's not like she was ugly or anything, I wouldn't say. But she did have an unusual, when she was all upset, you know, and crying and stuff. And that's the kind of image people were saying, like Klingon looking ridges on the forehead, you know. It was strange. There was some guy there who seemed to have an interest in her. I took it. I guess it was his storage unit. Yeah, you can stay there. And, but anyway, he kind of looked like Derek Savage. It wasn't Derek Savage. But by a staggering coincidence, the next, well, I think there was a couple of more arrest videos after that. But then Melton moved on to, well, Cool Cat. And so one of the segments, I think it was a long-winded saga about Cool Cat fighting Dirty Dog because Dirty Dog was upset that the pandemic was over. So he was going to fart out a new Dirty Dog virus to conquer the world or something. I don't know. In between all that, it seems Derek went to renovate a Pizza Hut building. They didn't say it was Pizza Hut, but it looked like a Pizza Hut building, and there was a Pizza Hut sign behind it. So I'm guessing at one time the building was Pizza Hut, but it's been converted to be a house. Just my speculation, of course. But anyway, I guess they were successful in selling it to some guy who refused to show his face. So that's So anyway, there we go. We're all set up for this image. And we'll increase all the dark lines. Oh no, it's too much. But don't worry. Yeah, see? It's like magic. Yes. And then we'll put the dry brush filter upon this to solidify the black ink even more. There we go. Now, here I didn't do this poor woman justice. She did not have that serious of a recede. She didn't have a receding hairline. No, she didn't. So let me just add a few lines here. Well, I was at work and wasn't really paying attention entirely. Can't really remember. I think her jumpsuit, jogging suit, or whatever the hell she was wearing was something like that. Anyway, well, ladies first, so let's go ahead and put in the color. So now I was in between stuff, but I took it to mean that the Derek Savage guy, the police says, I think they asked him, "Why are you helping her out?" To stay at the storage unit or whatever. And well, she's cute, ain't she? Jeez. But he was let go, so I guess there wasn't anything there, even though if there was, some negotiated deal for her to stay there. I don't know. But the thing is, she had apparently, I think she had a child. I didn't see any kids, but the narrator was talking about it. So I guess she had her kid living with her in the storage unit. And, well, the police weren't too happy about that. So, yeah. And she was all upset. And I'm sure the whole thing's embarrassing. You really don't expect life to turn out that way. And, oh no, it's all on camera. And, now it's going to end up on YouTube. And some comedian's going to use it for material on his show. Well, maybe she didn't think it through that much. But yeah. But I don't know. That's probably been some time ago. So, hey, maybe everything worked out and it's fine. And the kid's going to school. And maybe she met some guy who's at least nice to her, may even like her. And it all works out. Sure. But, or, I don't know, the Derek Savage guy is still in her life. And, well, I do have this other place. Some crappy old rundown trailer house or whatever, But why agree to that? Well, there has to be some dependence on narcotics somewhere in this equation, because otherwise, you get a job, uh, and you find a place to rent. It's a little rough at first, but look, there's cheap dumps, sure, but you got to start somewhere, and then there you go. Whoops, whoops, whoops. This is one of those things. You have to have it all lined in. See? And then there we go. And I seem to recall that she was blonde, I think, but kind of like a dirty blonde type thing. So kind of, sort of, almost brown, but not the dark brown. Anyway, so I just combined the two narratives. The other story, now Melton did warn his audience that this next story that he showed was going to be extremely dark. And oh boy, was it. It was a murder mystery, so that'll give you some idea. And it was a murder that had been committed way back in 1997. And so these authorities were, cases go cold, of course, but there's always somebody working on it, and they come upon some other piece of evidence, or sometimes it's old piece of evidence, and they take another look at it and say, hey, wait a minute. Maybe this. Anyway, something of that nature happened involving DNA and matching up and all that stuff. And this was the murder of an infant who was found burnt in a park, I guess. I can't remember. And they went and got this woman under the belief that she was needed in questioning for some case they're working on. And at first she thought this was some traffic thing or whatever. So they lured her into the station for the interrogation and all that. And then the interrogators went to work on her, and eventually she pretty much confesses to the whole thing, I mean, not pretty much. She did. She would change the story here and there, but eventually, well, yeah, I did it. Yeah. It's a weird thing. It's after having done something like that, the police show up and want to talk to you, and it seemed like, yeah, it didn't occur to her that this could be it, But yeah, they zeroed in on her, and there you go. Didn't really get too much of it. She was on her own at the time, and nobody knew that because I was beginning to wonder, like she was acting like, oh, there was an accident or something like that. But no one, I guess she was estranged from her family and friends and stuff at the time. And so no one who would know her knew that she had a child. And so there you go. That's why no one really, hey, whatever happened to the baby, And, oh, I don't know. It's not like, I used to have this cat, and then I don't know, it just wandered off. Oh, it happens. Yeah, it does. But it appears she smothered the child to death, and then tried to get rid of the remains by burning the body in the park. Um, and then went on with her life, you know. So I will not be doing any drawings of that character, you know. I don't think so. Certainly not on the same page with Cool Cat. I mean, good lord, we just can't have that. Of course, Cool Cat is this passion project of this Derek Savage guy. Now, it's an interesting thing. My guess is Derek is a guy who, well, he had dreams like a lot of people do. You know, just about everybody at one point kind of fantasized about being a movie star or a rock star or perhaps both. And there's only a certain window of time in your life where to even pursue that, even on a small scale, it exists, you know. And of course, that time came and went for Derek, but he didn't want to abandon it. He had to find some other way. So you could be one of these acts, like a musical act that does get gigs and stuff like that. And it's not an easy life, I wouldn't say, but you're doing what you love, and that sort of thing. But no, wanting to be a filmmaker as well appears to be the bug that bit Mr. Savage, and but he wasn't any good at that either. So he decided, hey, I know what's an easy audience to please. He probably figured dumb kids, and so he decided to make these films that well, it would be educational, would teach kids about certain hazards and stuff like that. And he decided to make up this heroic, cartoonish character in the form of Cool Cat. So, you call the cat Cool, that way the kids, hey, the cat is cool. And he's like, yeah, so you're going to want to listen to Cool Cat. Now, I've seen Milton go over these a time or two, and got to admit, I didn't really pay that much of attention to the entirety of the saga. But here, boy, some interesting details did come through that I mean, it sounded like even Milton didn't know this. I mean, again, I was at work, so couldn't pay attention to everything. But apparently, the premise is that Savage is the father of Cool Cat. Now, I know the setup is a fantastical one and all that, but the it, Cool Cat is, a cat. So it's like, oh man, what? You had relations with a cat and you're the father of this half man, half cat creature, something of that nature, And the conclusion ultimately by the film was to say yes, because eventually another character that's introduced. So there's Cool Cat, of course. There's the villain Dirty Dog, and then we meet Pretty Cat. Pretty Cat is Cool Cat's mother and the wife of Derek Savage, at least, in the context of the film. So she's in the kitchen chopping something. I forget. And here comes Derek, and he starts getting all flirty with her and stuff. She giggles and all that, I'm like, oh my God. And they're doing the whole thing. I mean, they didn't make out, but I think they got interrupted. But in a few minutes, that was probably going to happen. Now, I don't know if this is supposed to be an introduction to furries or whatever, but holy crap. I mean, the films are crappy already, but awfully disturbing in so many different ways. And I mean, it was a weird thing about Dirty Dog. His plot was at first he was saying that COVID was a lie, but then he wanted to spread it everywhere. But then, yes, he comes up with his own Dirty Dog virus. I don't know if that was supposed to be, giving a nod to the idea that it was a manufactured virus and this sort of thing. And in this case, Dirty Dog was the culprit. But I don't know and don't really care anymore because, good Lord, the guy is flirting with a cat. And they have a son who is kind of stupid. He just doesn't like Dirty Dog. And the rest of the time, he's like, yay, I'm cool kid. And hanging out with his human father. But, at least he's there for the, well, I was going to say the boy, the cat. And they do things together. He's trying to teach him some kind of trade, I guess real estate, because they do go to the Pizza Hut building that's now a house. And of course, Melton's always good on zeroing in on certain details. So they go into the house and going on about how great it is and all the work done, restoring it and everything. And yet, right off the bat, it's like in the foyer as they walked in, the bottoms of the walls, the paint hadn't been finished. I mean, there was gaps in it and stuff. So it wasn't all that great. But they did manage to sell it, though. The guy that came in, and they would keep the camera at angles to where you couldn't quite make out the guy. It was some dark-haired guy in glasses, kind of a Clark Kent looking dude, but you couldn't quite, maybe that was it. He was Superman, but you couldn't see him. And it was weird. I mean, it's unnecessary. I mean, you introduce the guy who wants to buy the property, and then, he's like, yay, we sold it. And it's just that simple. Real estate is easy and all that. But I don't know. They just didn't want you to see this guy. So anyway, that's the deal. They went to this. I think it. I mean, it's got the sign there, and it's got. Some of them, the roofs would actually tend to match the logo, but the house was pretty close. There's nothing else there. Then someone in the someone in the chat managed to find the address of the actual site that was used in this this work of cinema, and so Melton found it, and you got the the Google, maybe you can go look at it. And that's what he did. So he was looking at it, and sure enough, there it was. The Pizza Hut sign is still there. I don't know how long ago the Cool Cat film was made, but wow, there it was with and it had this in the film. It didn't have this camper trailer in the back, but it does now. I don't know if maybe that guy really was Derek Savage, and the Klingon woman is living there on the on the property in a camper trailer. Um, yeah, sure, throw that in there and all that. But yeah, it was all there in the Pizza Hut sign. I guess no one ever took it down, and they just thought it's kind of cool. It's like Americana or some crap, and they just decided to leave it there because, well, how many other people have Pizza Hut signs in their yard? Not many, but they do. And I guess, they want it. Plus, I don't know if they're bragging about that they were the location for the filming of Cool Cat. Because again, not many people can claim that either. Yeah. Oh, they can't. They really can't. My. So anyway, it was interesting. I don't know. It would be interesting to find out who owns the property and stuff, I suppose. And hey, you're the Cool Cat house, Like, we don't talk about that anymore. Hey, which one of you were in the dog suit and farted on camera? No, I don't talk about that. We don't talk about that at all. No, we don't. So it could be something like that, but it's almost like it can't possibly exist, and yet there it was. It's like finding Santa's place at the North Pole, No, it was exactly like that. So after that, they suddenly remembered they were supposed to stop. What's his name? Dirty Dog's evil plot, which eventually they did. But apparently, Derek Savage has a friend who owns a Harrier jet. Now, this is, it's a military fighter jet, but it can lift up off the ground like helicopters do with jet power, And so, when this thing first came about, a lot of movies had it, and they would show it off. And well, look, and but that's about it. True Lies had it. They had Schwarzenegger flying it around, and had to go save Jamie Lee Curtis so that she could hang out of the well, I think they were in the helicopter then. But anyway, you got another good look at her rack and all that. It was great stuff. But and then he ended up killing all the terrorists with the Harrier. He just went in there and blew them all away. And of course, it's easier to. Oh wait, I'm using the wrong one. Hey, that's not the right color. Oh, you're right, Cool Cat. It's not. Here, let me fix that with some black lines here. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. You got to get up pretty early in the morning if you want to fool old Cool Cat. That's usually how that goes. Yeah. Now, I seem to recall there was a different voice for Cool Cat, but it sounded like Derek was doing the voice of the cat now in the movie. I could be completely mistaken. Whoops. But anyway, of course, I'm going to spoil the whole film, because I'm just going to assume you're not going to track it down and go watch it. I mean, you can go watch it through Melton's show because, you got his cool commentary and everything. It's fun. And then all the other stuff. Oh, man. Well, okay. the horrible baby story. But nevertheless, yeah, it was a good show. He puts on a good show. It's what Melton does. But anyway, um, in the end, Cool Cat wins. Yeah, he does. The dog farts again, but this doesn't stop Cool Cat. And then he gets help from the Harrier, who drops napalm. And it looks like they use stock footage of napalm burning a whole stretch of land. Uh, but when they cut back to where Dirty Dog is, uh, he's just kind of coughing a bit. And I don't know, he seemed fine. So then uh, Cool Cat and Dirty Dog, well, they had to have a fight. But Dirty Dog just wasn't all that, you know. And Cool Cat beat him. And then Dirty Dog, I don't know, he just gave up or something. I don't even remember. Pretty lackluster, you know, the long buildup. You know, first his evil plot, it would go through different changes and stuff that he intended what he was going to do. And then ultimately, um, you know, he decided he was going to infect the whole world with his Dirty Dog virus. And, but it didn't work out. Turns out there was quite the plot twist, because even though his farts was vital to the development of the virus, ultimately the farts were so bad that even the virus couldn't stand them. And so the virus died. And he literally showed them floating around in the sky and stuff, and just exploding in response to Dirty Dog's farts. So, really, Cool Cat was kind of irrelevant. I don't know. I mean, he did call in the napalm, which, again, didn't really do a whole lot. So I don't know if that was all that great. But as far as the ultimate threat, eh. I mean, you have a villain who defeated himself. So I guess, you know, Cool Cat was there to just go, look at you. You're stupid. And the dog is like, oh, and, you know, he can't beat his hated enemy. And he just feels awful about it all. And I don't know, you feel kind of bad for him in a way. You know? And he tried so hard. He worked on that that virus. I mean, that's like his baby, you know. And then here comes Cool Cat, just laughing at him, you know. No wonder he hates him, you know. So I mean, I guess there'll be a sequel at some point. I mean, Derek's still going, right? I mean, I don't know. And then I don't know if he'll do a virus thing again or what, but well, that'll be the deal. And I guess that's the plan. Yeah. Oh yeah, they did a behind the scenes reel, um, with them filming a Dirty Dog. Then there was a teaser for the cartoon version of the same film. except it really wasn't. They just put an AI filter over the film that, well, that's it. It was just all the film, but these filters to make them look like they were drawn and stuff. Um, it's really rather pointless to sit through that, especially if you, for whatever reason, watch the first one. I mean, this is like crap movies that Mystery Science Theater would do. It's the only way to watch them is when the Mystery Science Theater were doing it. In this case, the only way to watch stuff like this is if you've got Melton to guide you through it. Otherwise, I don't know. You're not going to get through it. So that's how that works. And, well, it did. So anyway, Mr. Savage is living his dream the only way he can. I don't know if he has successfully sold any of these Cool Cat videos to schools and stuff like that. There's always these videos, and they're teaching you to look both ways before you cross the street, stuff like that. Wash your hands, and that sort of thing. I'm not sure that many schools, but then again, the stuff we hear about the education system these days. And I mean, good Lord, how many teacher sex scandals do I have to cover on Nailsin News? I mean, it's absolutely horrible. So I don't know what their attitude is these days, but I don't know how many would go for, and they really shouldn't, the idea of this guy flirting with a cat. Now granted, and I'm assuming it's a woman in the suit. But anyway, just the whole thing is I just assumed he's like, well, we're doing this for an audience, kids, and they don't know this stuff, and it's just a silly thing. So he's Cool Cat's dad and all that. It could have just been, hey, there was this kitten wandering around in the street, and I picked it up and took it home, and that's how I ended up with Cool Cat. I named him Cool Cat because, I thought he was cool. And they go with that. But no, he decided, you know what? I'm going to introduce the mother. I'm going to make out with her. They do a whole scene where they're overcome with passion and stuff. Yeah, you never know. Then there could be this whole prequel about how they met. One thing led to another. At first, they kind of didn't like each other, but there was something about each other, they just couldn't fight it anymore. And next thing you know, Cool Cat's born. Ain't that nice? So anyway, I guess that's how that worked. Who the hell knows? It certainly suggests it. Unnecessarily so, I would think. But, well, what do I know? I never made a movie about a cool cat. But Derek Savage did. He did. And I guess he still is. I assume there'll be more. The only way I'm going to know about it is if Melton covers it. So if Melton wants to cover those films, then odds are I'll see it. Yeah. I don't think he's going to bother with the AI filter cartoon. And, the sad thing is, even if you had this superior AI technology that could make it look like a real cartoon, like Warner Brothers Looney Tunes, only it's Cool Cat, it just wouldn't be any good because the story would still be this weird, stupid at best, crap, and disturbing at worst. Yeah. So, yeah, you just can't win. So anyway, there he is. He says, "Help me and Cool Cat. What did he say? Oh, renovate old abandoned Pizza Hut buildings to provide affordable homes to homeless meth whores with Klingon foreheads." There you go. See, because the thing about Cool Cat is him and his dad. Um, well, they're always trying to do good deeds, and they really want to help people. Yeah, and I mean, in the case of this one, mostly Cool Cat. I don't know that his dad did much for saving the world, but Cool Cat did. Cool Cat did. So, you know, um, there's a lot of music, so I guess it is a musical feature. That's why I said Derek probably had both the fantasy of being a popular music guy and a filmmaker, and a lot of times the two go together. I don't just mean music videos. In the old days, like Elvis and the Beatles, they were in movies, stuff like that. So he probably thought, hey, why not me? Well, we see why not in his work, but nevertheless, he pursued it. But ultimately, he had to give up on what he really wanted and only cling to it with what he sees as a very stupid audience that might just fall for this absurdity that he is a filmmaker. Yeah, yeah. So that's what he did. Yeah. But I really, it would be interesting to find out if this was accepted. Probably not this particular film, since it has the flirting scene with a human and a cat. Um, but if any of that crap was accepted into a school's lesson plan, or whatever, okay, kids, we're gonna watch a film that's gonna tell you about, I don't know, how to sell a Pizza Hut property as a home. Yeah, maybe that. I don't know. It might. Maybe that would happen. And then those schools have to be seriously looked at and investigated. Find out who the idiots are who agreed to this and get rid of them. Yeah. Hi, Doug. Where do you think 10 Things I Hate About You ranks on your top movie list? Where do you think 10 Things I Hate About You on your... Well, I haven't seen it. Canadian Spider-Man. Mary Jane, Spidey's only true love. Mr. Nailsin must either be a fan of Spidey or weed. Ha ha ha. Good morning. Different Mary Jane. Yeah. Yeah. Wait a minute. Let me see here. Let's see. Okay, I was just making sure the sound was on. Yeah. Okay. So there you go. There's Cool Cat. I can't recommend the film. But But I do recommend Nobody Likes Onions. Check that out. I don't know if it would be. It was a members only show, so I guess you gotta be a member. Canadian Spider says sound is on. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, for a second there, I didn't think it was because well, this happens. So anyway, there we go. That's Derek Savage. Here is the Mary Jane in question. Hey, maybe I don't know if I want to say, I don't know. We'll see. It's just a bad Gino. It doesn't look anything like him. But here we'll isolate Mary Jane Murphy, who has decided, I guess, to enter the Dabbleverse and was doing a video explaining how she didn't know a lot about it and all that. And yeah. Got her introduction from Gino explaining it to her. But at the same time, I think he was telling her, you don't want anything to do with it. Yeah. Anyway, I think she came across perhaps people talking about karmic when back then, at a certain point, he was under orders to not have anything to do with Mary Jane. You know, the crazy. And so that happened. So then he does a 180 and is really nasty to Mary Jane and all that stuff. So I think she got an inkling of that, perhaps not all the details, but just thought she heard Mary Jane. And, you know, you can understand that the names sound a lot alike. You know, he says Ari is like, it's like Mary. It just doesn't have an M in the name. That's right. Yeah. See, I noticed things like that. So anyway, but they both have, I guess, the middle name of Jane. And so there lies the problem. So yes, anything karmic, there was nothing from him, at least not yet, about Mary Jane Murphy. So that's basically all that was. So anyway, she's looking into it. And so she's already kind of got that. Well, not kind of. She got it wrong. But like I said, well, these things happen. And so eventually she does get to a story that does concern her, which is it's Scarlett Hampton, right? Scarlett Hampton, Matt Mead, all that stuff. And apparently encountered them at Chrissy Mayr's content, not house, but hotel, I guess is what it was called this time around. And got pretty chummy with Matt Mead. I mean, I only saw an image with her leg draped across his lap. I mean, and apparently Miss Hampton didn't take too kindly to that. And some sort of meow meow fight happened. But apparently it was all just a misunderstanding. You know, I don't know. Then, of course, the saga of Scarlett Hampton continues. It's all very sad and bizarre. Probably will not end well. I don't know. But anyway, that was the deal. Her introduction to Dabbleverse, sort of just asking about it, and Gino talking about it to her, and she probably, he was warning her not to do it, but then she looked into it I mean, it's only a matter of time, I suppose. Anyway, So she did, and then she's, hey, they're talking about me. Why would they talk about me? And of course they weren't, but eventually, you get there and you actually do find people talking about you. So then, so there's this whole Scarlett Hampton thing. Well, so she's not a fan of Scarlett's, and Scarlett not a fan of hers. And so then Mersh is covering her video, I believe. Oh boy, he's not a fan of Mary Jane at all. Because, well, I guess as circumstances are, he's going to be team Scarlett. Something like that. And, oh boy, he didn't, he really does not like Miss Murphy here. So there's that, And hey, she's just trying to understand it all, And yeah, that's pretty much the whole thing. But my guess is, and this is just mere speculation, drawing conclusions, could be completely wrong, but that she's seeing more of Scarlett as the problem than Matt Mead. Now, a lot of people, certainly Mersh, jumped on some of the incidents concerning Matt and Scarlett, that Matt could possibly be abusing the girl. There was a lot of more disturbing sounds than imagery. He did shove her to the floor during damn it, what was it? It was a Kevin's show, I guess. And of course, Matt really pissed off at Mersh and all that stuff. And so there was that. Then there was the video that Scarlett herself posted on her X page, and it looked like they were having an argument. It clearly appears that Matt Mead didn't even know that this was being taped, streamed, what have you. And then there's some sort of chase, but you don't really see it, but you hear it, and all that sort of stuff. Then there's Kiki's show where Scarlett's upset, talking about her mother not doing well, wants to go see her for the holidays and stuff. Then there's Matt saying, hey, trying to get her to her mother's for the holidays and all that. And then I think like Scarlett said something, yeah, but he won't let me. And then he spins around and he's like, what? So you take it to that, well, Scarlett's not altogether there. And how much of it is Matt and how much of it is her. So my guess would be that Mary Jane would be of the opinion that Scarlett is more the culprit than Matthew. But I don't think they should be together. I think they need to break up. I think, and the problems that Scarlett seems to exhibit here, not seems to, really does. Matt Mead's not the guy to save her from that, And it's going to be, and anybody who would attempt to, even absolute professionals, it would be very, very difficult. And that's the sad thing about it. I mean, people weighing in on it because it's all public. It's not really going to achieve a whole lot because ultimately people say, "Oh, Matt's no good for her," and all this sort of stuff, and that may very well be, but it doesn't really answer the problem overall. So, I mean, sure, they could break up, go their separate ways, and there, gee, you saved her from Matt, but you didn't save her from herself. And that's the deal. As for Miss Murphy here, do you think she has designs on Matt? Yeah, that she was putting her leg up on his lap for a reason. Well, hell, I don't know. I wasn't there. It's just a picture. I don't know. So, but anyway, I guess she's going to start live streaming and talking about Dabbleverse stuff. And she's got her little setup with, which, I just assumed was a real background where it's just, the little, damn it, what do you call those? Little fold up divider thing. Ah, hell. It's embarrassing when the brain goes blank like that. But of course, I'm talking while concentrating on the drawing, or the drawing, and crap, I can't think of it. But it's not a bad idea. If you're gonna, hey, I want this particular background, but I don't want it to be distracting or anything. I don't want it to clear out the background, so the concentration is on what I'm presenting. And well, I guess that's what she's doing. Anyway, that's the deal. And so Pat Dixon was watching her, uh, her take on this, and then the misunderstanding, mistaking Aries' name for her own, stuff like that. But interestingly enough, she was told about Pat Dixon. And that she was surprised by an image of him because she suspected that he was this really big, he sounded like he was a big fat guy. Now, of course, the joke would be that, people just mistook me for being Pat Dixon. And so, and this only happens when people suspect that Pat Dixon's really fat. Well, he isn't. Look, I'm not all that fat either lately. I've dropped a ton of weight. But for a long time, I was quite the big boy. So anyway, it's kind of interesting, I suppose. Her first steps into the world of Dabbleton. Yes. I mean, she knows Chrissy Mayer, and Chrissy Mayer's interview with Stuttering John is what's supposed to started the whole thing. But I don't know if she's all like, like big time close with Chrissy or whatnot. And, this is all kind of new, but people talking about it at the content house, I guess, is what got her started on the thing. And there you go. There we. Oh wait. Back. Yeah. Oops, wrong one. There we are. And here we are again. All right. So go ahead, flatten that, and then add some amount of definition to this. Now, look, I'm going for a silly image. You understand? She seemed to have her eyes really wide open at the time. And you got to look for some kind of characteristic to latch onto, to speak to the image as she braces herself for all things Dabbleverse, you know? Well, there you go. I don't know. I guess it'll do. Yep. Now we'll put some highlights. Yeah, they'll bring shine to the flowing hair. Yes. There we go. All right. It's Mary Jane. So there we go. Mary Jane and Cool Cat. Yeah. He wasn't smoking a cigarette or anything, but I don't know. I threw it in there. You know, when he's taking a break and doesn't realize the camera's rolling, you know, they'll have to cut it out. Because you can't sell that to kids. You know, you really can't. Although I wouldn't put it past Mr. Savage to try. Well, pumpkin spiced heroin's here. Well, hello, pumpkin spiced heroin. I'm sitting here doing what I usually do, coloring my drawings. So there we go. Those are the drawings that I colored today. So I guess that'll do it. Only had time for an hour. I don't understand why this business with Rumble didn't work. I really don't like that. I am very upset about it. And this will not do. It's going to have to, this will terminate. And there it goes. Damn. Well, I'll have to try to figure that out for next time. But anyway, thanks for, oh, wait, let me check. Nope, no super tips. All right. I tried. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed the little tour of me coloring these images and talking about videos that I watched that you probably did too. Or if you didn't, well, you got a little preview and you can check it out. Perhaps it's available for you to see. It might be behind the membership wall over at Nobody Likes Onions, so you'll have to do that. As for Pat's show, well, if you didn't catch it live, you missed it. So that's the way it goes. Anyway, nicely done. Well, thank you, Pumpkin Spice Heroin. And check out Pumpkin Spice Heroin's work. You can see a lot of that. A lot of times, Pat's got these videos and stuff that he does for the breaks and whatnot. That's the work. Pumpkin Spiced Heroin. It's all cool stuff. So anyway, good stream, Doug from Frankfurt. Why, thank you, Frankfurt. So there you have it. Cool Cat and Mary Jane. Yeah. All right. Hopefully, God, you hear how my voice is just getting all ragged? I don't know. But hopefully tomorrow morning will be Mr. Nailsin Sunday Comics, and I'll read a comic book Christmas story. Won't that be fun? I don't know, but we'll find out, provided I do it. In the meantime, I did send off my latest episode of the Mr. Nailsin Show at RadioMisfits.com or wherever you get your podcast. And I didn't have time to do a show. Got kind of under the weather a bit, and also all kinds of other things. Just no time for the schedule. And decided, hey, I know, I'll do a show with Pat Dixon. So was going to do that. And then my internet went out was almost 5 hours. It's terrible. Came back on and I went ahead and did Nailsin News, but I wasn't going to bother Pat at that point. Yeah. And so I didn't have a show. So I put together the latest Bubba Stargone serial that I did, edited all the episodes together. That puts it at almost 2 hours of story there. But that's the deal. So it should be up sometime today, if not already. And do enjoy Bubba Stargone and the Uranus Patrol. Yes, that is the full title. Yeah. All right. We'll meet again, more than likely tomorrow morning. So talk to you then.